An Aurora police officer is expected to survive after being stabbed in the head this afternoon. Police say that officer was able to shoot and kill the man who attacked him.
This happened east of Cherry Creek State Park on East Stamford Circle. That's off Quincy and Parker. 9 News reporter Ria Shaw is in Aurora tonight with the very latest. Ria.
Yeah, we're actually at an apartment complex. It's pretty quiet around here, but earlier today, Aurora police posted a picture of a butcher's knife, a bloody butcher's knife that they said the suspect used. That's giving us a sense of how violent this situation became.
I'm around 3:30 in the afternoon. Our officers received a radio call of a suicidal subject who was at his residence.
Aurora police were called here to the Reflections at Cherry Creek apartment complex. A 23-year-old man on the phone with Aurora Mental Health.
They looked and they could see the suspect peering out of the window. He had a large, very large butcher knife, and he was holding it to his neck, and he was continuing to make threats against himself and also kill anybody in and around the area.
Police say crisis response teams and officers spent about 25 minutes trying to de-escalate, making phone contact, working with family, and keeping distance, when suddenly, police say the man ran out his front door with a butcher knife.
Containment saw this individual. They began to make verbal contacts with him to say, stop, stop.
He didn't. Instead, police say he charged directly at a K-9 officer on scene.
And I'm not talking charged by, I'm going to just kind of approach. I'm talking a full speed, head-on charge. And he began to thrash and stab the knife into the head of the K-9 officer.
Police say less lethal options were used but had no effect.
The officer who was getting stabbed in the head aggressively, repeatedly, and tragically fired his weapon, struck the suspect.
Medical aid was provided to both the suspect and the officer. The suspect was later pronounced dead at the hospital. The officer is now in surgery.
I am thankful that our officer is not dead, laying back there on that sidewalk.
Again, that officer is in the hospital but is expected to survive. His K-9 also suffered some minor injuries but is also expected to be okay. Investigators did say this suspect has had a history of mental health crises. Reporting in Aurora, Ria Shaw, 9 News.
New tonight, a 22-year-old now faces charges for a deadly shooting in downtown Denver. It was one of 2 shootings that happened about a mile and a hour apart from each other this afternoon. The first happened near 32nd and Arapahoe and 5 Points near Curtis Park just after 1. Police say that person died from their injuries. They announced within the last hour they arrested a person named Kaylin Strada on suspicion of first-degree murder. Police are also investigating a shooting at 20th and Lawrence. One victim was found and taken to the hospital. It's not clear what their condition is tonight. Police haven't released any suspect information as of now. Denver police tell us their preliminary investigation doesn't show any connection between the 2 shootings.
So the rain returned today in some areas. Not a whole lot, but you know what? We'll take any drop we can get. More metro area showers are possible tomorrow. High country could even see some snow. So as we turn for the weekend forecast, on Wednesday it's ambitious. Thursday, you're fully justified, Kathy Sabin, and looking to the weekend.
Couldn't agree more. Kim and I think we should talk about it on Monday.
Yeah, well, we should.
And
But this is Friday Eve, so we're there.
Exactly. We're hours from Friday, and we have a chance for more rain showers. Most of that activity has come to an end in Denver. Not everybody got to see the rain, but definitely a day where we saw those convective clouds, a little thunder, a little bit of lightning, and temperatures are still really mild out there right now. These current readings may be the high temperatures tomorrow as we're awaiting a cool front that will bring more moisture in for afternoon storms. The winds much lighter. The first wave of showers is exiting Colorado, the next one on the way for tomorrow, and then we get a chance for showers on Saturday. Widely scattered rain and snow showers still showing up on the radar with a little thunder, lightning around Lyman and Burlington out toward the Sterling area. Most of the activity has died down here in the city. The clouds are going to win out tomorrow. It will be a cloudy and cooler day, and then starting about 2 o'clock, the moisture comes in from the southwest, moving toward Denver. There's more available moisture, so a brief heavy downpour is not out of the question tomorrow. Temperatures will trend cooler overnight. Bus stop temperatures tomorrow morning in the low to mid 40s. Coming up, we'll check the radar again and look ahead to the weekend forecast. Beyond that, we're tracking a colder storm with more moisture for Colorado on Tuesday.
About 9,000 people in Colorado who get SNAP food benefits will lose coverage next month. Soon, most non-citizens won't be eligible as part of the Trump administration's policy.
Arapahoe County leaders say neighbors there are going to feel it more than in any other county in the state in terms of pure numbers. 9 News reporter Colton Chavez is there for us tonight. Colton?
Yeah, Kyle, Arapahoe County telling us that 2,900 people are going to lose those SNAP benefits on their EBT card next month. So now the question remains, where do they go? And can the organizations that help them carry the weight?
We pick up where the government leaves behind.
That will be May 1st, when Arapahoe County says over 2,900 of their residents will lose their SNAP benefits. It's because of eligibility changes under the One Big Beautiful bill that President Trump signed into law last summer.
So we are absolutely predicting an immediate influx on that the first day in May that there's not coverage.
Christina Stimson says the Aurora Interfaith Food Pantry has seen this before.
I'm going to talk a little bit back to November when SNAP benefits were cut. Immediately, the day after, the lines were off the hook. People were standing outside.
President Trump's Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins says American taxpayers will no longer pay for benefits for non-citizens.
When benefits are taken away, they feel even more like the world is turning against them.
Arapahoe County says cuts include refugees, parolees, and asylees. Realistically, with all of these people losing their benefits, can food pantries replace that?
I don't know. I really don't know.
But when the government steps back, Christina says food pantries step up.
Yeah, I think all we can do as food pantries is do our best with what we have.
Now, legal permanent residents and immigrants from some countries like Cuba and Haiti will still qualify for these benefits. Live in Arapahoe County, Colton Chavez, 9 News.
The man charged with starting a 5-alarm fire at an apartment complex under construction in Denver will undergo a competency evaluation. A judge ordered that today. Tony Becerra was arrested in connection with the January 2nd fire on Leedsdale Drive. He's now charged with burglary and arson for the massive fire. It took days to fully extinguish. Police say they tracked him down using surveillance video. Becerra is due back in court May 14th.
A snowplow driver now faces charges related to the deadly crash involving 3 other vehicles, including a youth hockey team's van. The crash happened January 29th on I-70 near Herman Gulch in Clear Creek County. CSP says the plow driver, 29-year-old Colton Weedman, lost control, went through the cable rail, and crossed into the other side of the interstate. The plow hit a truck before hitting the van carrying a hockey team from California. The father of one of the players died. 8 other people were injured. CSP says Weedman now faces a charge of careless driving, resulting in death.
A man who already pleaded guilty to killing 2 men in Aurora last year has now pleaded guilty to another murder in Denver. Today, Ricky Lee Robo Smith agreed to plead guilty to the 2025 death of Vincent Chacon. Chacon and Robo Smith were cellmates inside the downtown Denver jail at the time of the murder. As part of the plea deal, Robo Smith, sentenced to 48 years in prison. That sentence is to be served at the same time as the 80-year sentence he received last month for the Aurora homicides. Chacon's mother went to today's sentencing.
If you look at the statute, misdemeanor utilize the 25M4043, and we do have a restitution.
Was on parole 5 times in 15 years. 9 News Investigates found systemic flaws in how his risk assessments were performed. He's also charged in a 4th homicide, the 2022 death of a woman in England.
Commerce City is expanding its surveillance contract with Flock. Not long after the city of Denver dismantled its network of those license plate reading cameras over data sharing concerns. Today, Commerce City showcased what they're calling a real-time crime center. It gives officers remote visibility across the city using 3 Flock technologies: the license plate trackers, drones, and shot spotter gunshot detection devices. City leaders say it is working, so much so the City Council just approved another $4.5 million contract with Flock over the next 5 years to expand their resources. This passed just 1 week after Denver chose to ditch its relationship with Flock.
I'm proud of the fact that we have a staff in place that's identified what is the best tool for us to use. And if that tool happens to be products that are provided by Flock that allow us to best serve our community, then Flock is the vendor that we will use. I also want to note, though, that
Commerce City said that they do not allow for Flock to share any of their data. Denver, meanwhile, just approved a contract to replace the Flock cameras with surveillance cameras made by a company called Axon.
The city of Northglenn says it cannot come to an agreement with the state on the operation of a mental health transitional facility. 2 buildings on Grant Drive house people leaving state mental health hospitals as they work toward living independently again. For 2 years, the city and residents have expressed concerns about the safety of the facility. And tonight, the city announced it could not reach an agreement on a memorandum of understanding with Colorado Department of Human Services. We reached out to CDHS tonight to hear their side of things. We're waiting to hear back.
Colorado Springs Mayor Yemi Mobolade is bringing in a former rival to help run the city. He's hiring former Colorado Secretary of State Wayne Williams as his chief of staff. In 2023, Mobolade pulled off a shocking landslide victory over Williams, became the city's first non-Republican mayor in recent history. While municipal elections are nonpartisan, candidates traditionally have a party identifier, Mobolade is unaffiliated. I sat down with the mayor and Williams for an exclusive interview about what message they're trying to send by working together.
Wayne is coming to not even just work for me and to get us to the finish line, but truly to work for the city.
And when we talk about a city like Colorado Springs, most of our issues aren't dealing with the partisan issues that get in the gridlock in DC and even in Denver at the legislature, but instead you see people working together we all want good parks, we all want roads that are safe, we all want public safety, we want police and fire.
I asked Mayor Mobolade if enlisting Williams for a role in his administration was an attempt to keep Williams out of the 2027 mayoral race, where Mobolade is seeking re-election. The mayor said that's not the play here. He said he just wants to tap into Williams' experience and connections to help work on the city's challenges.